What is going on, everybody on the Gauche? How's everybody doing out there this Saturday? Yes, some of you are aware that last night we couldn't get the madness going. We had some appliance issues we had to take care of. That was quite an emergency situation. Basically, our stove, microwave, just about everything went faulty, and things happened. We basically destroyed and rebuilt the kitchen in one day. I'm a little sore, but we're gonna get through it today, through the pain, because where would the success be without a little pain, right? Well, we're gonna go ahead and have a show today. It's gonna be about an hour-long show today. It won't be as long, but I will be coming back later tonight with hopefully a rescheduled version of our Midnight Madness. Stay tuned for that. And we also have with us a special guest. We'll be bringing her on. The wonderful Gina. What's up, my wonderful wife? How you doing?
Hello.
Some of you may be wondering why she's wearing some bunny ears. We hear there's someone's
special
birthday today. We see her out in the chat audience. We will be celebrating that as well today, and we will also be talking about the tropical storm Ian that's knocking perhaps on our door, but you know, with a little prayer and luck, maybe it won't. But needless to say, preparations are in order, as well as we got some. You know, what kind of holiday is it today? We'll just kind of cover some of that today and just have some fun with you guys and see where it goes for the next hour. So with that said, stay tuned. We're going to go ahead and get right into the intro and see you on the other side. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Gauche. Good to see everybody out there. I'm going to go ahead and run a quick scan on the chat and see how everybody is doing. We see Julie. Thank you, Jules, for your always being awesome. We see Yvonne. Welcome. Natasha. Cassie. Good to see you. Amy P in the house. Let's see, we've got some PC Tech in the house. We've got some Tammy in the house as well. I know I'm missing some names. Jen D, here you go.
Brandon.
Brandon, yes. Welcome, brother. Good to see you as well.
Did you say Tammy? I'm not
Tammy.
sure who you said and didn't say at this point. But all of you, great to see you. We missed you last night. We were trying so hard to get on.
You have no right.
But
we really tried. We were like, man, and then the microwave issue happened, and then we had to get that taken care of. I'm like, dang it, we got to reschedule. No.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Rick, good to see you as well, my friend.
Yeah.
So as you can see, we have the bunny ears on Miss Gina. I do want to go ahead and throw out the link. If you want to come in and do a live chat with us, you are most welcome. But again, we're only got about an hour today because we do have to do some final touch-ups with some appliances, and we do have also one other prior obligation we have to attend to, and then try to get back in time, hopefully to attend the later half of Tim's stream. We had a busy weekend, guys, so thank you for your patience. So there's the link if you guys want to come on in and join in on the fun. With that said, so let's go ahead and get started, shall we? And I'll go ahead and start with singing happy birthday to our wonderful Lisa. Happy bunny out there. Happy bunny birthday.
Is she gonna jump on?
I'm just wondering if she's gonna jump on here. I did post the link for you to hop on if you're interested. We've got to sing happy birthday to the birthday bunny.
The hippity hoppity happy birthday.
There she is. We're gonna bring her on in here. We're gonna just bring her on in. Bringing her in.
There she goes.
Bringing her in.
Thank you.
And
happy
there
birthday.
she is.
Here, hold on. Let me.
What we are holding for you today is celebrating you today.
I used to have a Playboy Bunny t-shirt and I couldn't find it. I'm gonna put that on too.
Ooh, you shared a dirty secret. Ooh, Gina.
Let's see.
See, we got we got a lot of bunnies out there. Let's go ahead and do it, chat.
Yeah.
You see the bunny emoji? Throw it in there. Let's fill this chat up with some bunnies. Celebrate this wonderful lady's birthday.
Yeah, put the bunnies in.
Okay. Sorry, guys. That took me a little longer than I expected.
Don't feel too
I was
bad.
trying to get. I really slept in today, so it was kind of nice. So I'm like trying to do this with like zero coffee, trying to get muted on the Zoom and not muted on the Zoom and muted on the YouTube. So, yeah. But thank you so much for all the birthday wishes and all the birthday love that I've been getting from everybody in the communities this weekend. It's been very, very nice and very heartwarming. Brought me to tears last night. Yeah.
So
did you have carrot cake?
Carrot cake?
No, I had tiramisu. So.
Next person.
Yeah, no, we went to my husband took me to a lovely restaurant last night and basically ate until I was in like a food coma. So, yeah, that was nice. So.
Sometimes it feels good to sleep into, I tell you.
Oh, yeah, no, it was worth
it was rough getting out of bed today, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, no. I can't believe your whole kitchen exploded. It's like maximum overdrive or something.
It was like when one thing goes wrong, just everything just rippled up.
Snowball. Just
That's
snowball.
crazy.
So,
But
got a good deal at it. It was still used place, but excellent deal. So, and fairly new. So it looks much better and everything running and working. It just took forever to get everything installed and hooked up right. Because even the previous people who own the house or whatever, however many years back, didn't have it plugged up the right way, hooked up the right way. So that's why
it could have been worse.
It took way more longer. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
And of course, we're MacGyvering all the stuff we had for the longest time, and then of course everything just said, nope, not today, not gonna happen. So yeah, we were fortunate to get what we could.
Well, and you're fortunate, like like, it sounds like you went to like one of those restore type places.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are nice because you can always. It's funny because people will buy houses now. The kitchen will be fully remodeled and it's like almost brand new appliances. And then they move in and they're like, no, we want even more
Yeah.
brand new
Oh, we want
appliances.
our
So
own
you can
style
find,
or yep.
yeah, you can find like really great deals on very nice high end appliances sometimes there. So
Yeah.
that's
So
cool.
so we were blessed. Like I was gonna hit a few places. He was actually here. I went with my mom and I went shopping around because he was trying to get some stuff done, hoping that we could, be on last night. And, but the place that we went to, yeah, they were willing to work out deals. And then I actually ran into someone that I didn't even know worked there that recently started working there that goes to church, same church that we go to. I was like, oh, you look familiar. She's the interpreter, translator for the Spanish, English. And then, of course, sometimes I interpret for the sign language. So that's why we kind of knew each other. So God brings it all together.
It's a small world out there. It's crazy when you know somebody that you go to a place you wouldn't expect to see them there, and like, wait a minute, where do I know you from?
Yeah.
It really is interesting that happens. But
we have a buddy.
So I see PC Tech in here.
Hey, PC.
What's up, Sir Dave? How you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. Bad weather here. It's just gone really dark. I hope you and Gina and everybody in Florida stay safe, please.
Yes, thank you.
You know, because I know I've seen news reports here in the UK of how bad they can get. So please stay safe, everybody.
Yes,
in the Florida area.
Thank you for that, PC Tech. Yeah, they're saying that. I guess I'll segue right into our hurricane scenario here. So basically, there's a tropical storm called Ian that's in the Caribbean right now. That's kind of starting to gain some strength. So let me go ahead and switch screens real quick to kind of show you what we're dealing with. So yeah, some of you are probably like, hey, what's going on with this situation with this hurricane? Or possible hurricane. The tropical storm right now is in the Caribbean. They're saying by Thursday, landfall would take place early Thursday, just after midnight on our time stamp. But they're suggesting it's going to be a major hurricane by the time it hits. Now, we are literally in the region of this number 2.
Oh no.
So we are literally in the crosshairs of the forecast says this, but we're still several days out. So this is preliminary. This could change. It could go west, east, or whatever. Like a lot of forecasts can do. I mean, I've never seen a forecast consistent yet, but God forbid it actually strikes us directly. But if it does, we'll be ready for it because they have hurricane evacuation routes that they put into place throughout the state. And they'll open up like certain kind of lanes on highways designed for that specific reason.
Yeah, that was an interesting year.
It had, yeah. Mm-hmm. So if it happens, we'll be ready. We'll be prepared. So I appreciate, of course, everybody's concerns. Hurricanes are never easy to deal with. I mean, there was a very low end hurricane that hit Puerto Rico recently, but even though it was low end, it delivered some seriously catastrophic rainfall. Just parked on that island and just flooded the whole island, especially that south and east side.
Yeah, it's also knocked out the electrics as well, hasn't it, on Puerto Rico? I've been watching the news over here, and they've been talking about how bad the damage was to the infrastructure due to the floods.
Yeah, and floods are never easy to deal with. What's up, Jules?
It's also knocked out the electrics as well, hasn't it?
Hey, Jules.
I've been watching in the news here, and they've been talking.
Little bit of YouTube echo going on there, Jules. But good to see you.
I muted it. So I figured out know that.
All right. Kind of lost you there, Jules.
All right. Did we see? Am I back now?
We kind of hear you.
No?
You're a little bit bubbly today, Jules.
What should I do?
How's your internet
I
connection
don't know
today?
what to do. Well, it's all right. I don't know. It says it's full, whatever that means.
Oh man.
Okay, I'm gonna leave now.
Oh, you can stay.
Maybe I should go. I'm gonna go out and come back in. I'm gonna go out and come back in and see if that works
Okay.
Okay.
All right, sounds good.
better. You know
We'll
what I
see you in a bit.
So do you guys use the NOAA app at all, Gina and Zaiden?
As a
The
matter
NOAA
of
weather
fact,
app?
yes, I do.
Oh,
I
good.
Use, I use that as my primary use for for all the maps and stuff that I track stuff with.
Yeah, that when
I'm a big weather nerd.
When I lived in Hawaii, that was my favorite like weather app. There's also another one. I'll have to look on my phone. I know I still have it on there, but it's a really cool app, and it's specifically designed for hurricanes, and so it shows you all the different models and things like that, and it simulates the storms, which is quite interesting as well. I really I enjoyed that one. But yeah, I hope you guys stay safe. I hope is it Ivan or Ian? What's the name of this one?
They're naming it Ian.
Ian. Well, I hope Ian is just a nice cool breeze when it hits Florida. I mean, it looks like it's supposed to go over Cuba before it gets to Florida. So hopefully, and hopefully the people in Cuba stay safe too.
Yeah.
You know,
Not to hit anywhere.
Yeah.
Go back out into the ocean.
I mean, they're quite, when you look at them from a topographical imaging, they're quite beautiful, but at the same time, the destruction that they bring is no bueno.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah. There's a beauty into the, even tornadoes, which is weird for some people, for me to say this, but me and my brother always loved the nature side of it, where we can watch how it forms, and just this kind of maybe the science appreciation to it, perhaps. But of course, you also respect it because of the fact that all the destruction it could obviously carry.
Absolutely.
But yeah.
Or you'll have the people that are daring, because we're in the Gulf, so we don't get as high waves and stuff. But when storms come, of course, it changes everything. So you'll get people that are purposely going out to the beach.
Oh, yeah.
They want to feel the rough waters and stuff. And
well, yeah, like in Hawaii, it was the surfers are yeah, there's a storm surge coming in. It's idiots, I mean, my ex was a surfer, and when the storm surge would come in, he was out there. I'm like, you are crazy. He's like, you want to go watch? I'm like, no, I don't.
Oh God.
Right.
Yeah, hey, but they're thrill seekers, I mean, that's their religion. I mean, honestly, that's their religion. That's their way that they communicate with God, or whatever is in hurricane waters. How fun.
We have our Gasparilla parades every year, and it goes along the bay, and beads are tossed from all the floats from all the pirate ships and stuff. So a lot of these beads, especially all the broken ones and stuff, have ended up in the water, in the bay area. So there's been a couple times where the storms come and, all the waters get rushed out. And I'm like, that would be a perfect time where they could just collect all that litter of
those old
beads.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Because they do go diving. Some people do try to help the environment and sometimes go searching for some of those beads. But over the years, there's a whole ground full of these plastic beads. But it's interesting, how the water, the tide just completely brings out all the water, and you could see everything in there. And then it's South Tampa, so they get flooding a lot anyways. So you'll see people in their canoes and stuff, a few hours later, one extreme to the other. But
Yeah.
Lord, let us stay safe this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it just turns into a nice tropical rainstorm, because then Paige can go running out in the rain and start dancing.
She would love it.
but you know, it does look, because I've just looked at it, and I wish I never did, but I've just looked at it on the meteorological centre here in the UK. It does look big.
Yeah, it's getting there. You're not kidding. So obviously this is something that everybody's watching right now, because it's a mass, right? Its mass is very huge, very similar to the path of Hurricane Irma, as Gina had kind of hinted towards. And going back to that again, of course, when Irma came through Florida, we got the left side of the hurricane, which is not as deadly as the right side of a hurricane. Where the right side of the hurricane...
Zaiden?
What's that?
I didn't realise it depended on what side it came landfall.
Oh, when it comes to wind speed, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
So if you get the right side of a hurricane, for example, if you think about it this way, it turns, but the motion of it as it turns, right? So speed of this side of the hurricane, for example, would be faster than this side because it's turning backwards into it, right?
Counterclockwise, right?
Yeah. So if that side of the hurricane punches first, that's going to be a higher wind speed shear. That higher wind speed will be more destructive than the left side of a hurricane. Now, what's interesting about Hurricane Irma is that when it came across Florida, we got the left side of it, which the entire Tampa Bay area, the water, had been forced back out into the Gulf. So the Tampa Bay was literally dried out, like it was.
Yeah.
It was Armageddon. Like no, and again,
God.
as Gina was saying, this is back in 2017. Now, you can look at the bottom and see all these leftover beads from Gasparilla Party. It's nuts. All these things you can see at the bottom of the water basin, that you can just see all of the stuff that people lost and left behind. And you can see people walking out and into this area, very muddy, obviously, because the water was just there. But it's wild when you see like an entire huge body of water just emptied, gone.
Yeah.
But then you have to worry about when they come out back, you know, because
Exactly.
it has
We
the vacuum
got lucky.
effect of like a tidal wave, you
Yeah.
know?
We got
like,
lucky because that's exactly what they were originally forecasting it to be, as it's a tidal wave of some kind. What do you call those big waves that come in?
Tsunamis.
Tsunamis. Thank you.
Tsunami, yeah.
We were pretty close to being called upon a tsunami warning. So the thing is, because it was slower moving, it allowed the water to come in slower, so it didn't allow the tidal wave situation to take place. So it's like a bath just kind of filling back up. It was really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got lucky. I have to admit, we got lucky on that.
Yeah, I always feel like whenever hurricanes are heading towards my direction, I'm like,
Brandon.
oh, thank God it's not me. But now that I know more people, I'm like, I feel bad for those who get affected by it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's also like the crosswinds that cause the most devastation. And so it looks like the outer rings of the storm is just supposed to kind of brush the coast. So hopefully the eye stays over the water there.
Yeah.
We would
Because if
hope
that
so.
eye goes
Hopefully it
over you,
moves, too.
that's the maximum devastation. That's why when Hurricane Iniki hit Kauai, the storm went completely over the island, and people thought the storm was over, but the eye of the hurricane was actually over there, and that was back in 1993. So that's been almost 30 years ago. And the island, there's not a ton of resources in the Hawaiian Islands, but and there's not a lot of, we don't have like big contracting companies out there, so a lot of people are subcontracted from the mainland. But it's been almost 30 years since that storm hit Kauai, and they're still recuperating from it, which is interesting.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane. You feel
that
for
was
Puerto Rico for sure.
that was a Category 5 that hit
Oh,
Hawaii
yes.
in '93. That was like one of the biggest storms, I think, on record at that time.
What?
For a
yeah.
long time, that hit landfall, I think, until Katrina, I think, honestly.
Yeah, it was Katrina and then Harvey over here in Houston. That
Yeah.
hit pretty hard, and that it hovered over our city and didn't move. And so hopefully this one doesn't hover over y'all.
Yeah. So, thoughts and prayers and well wishes to everybody in Florida.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
Absolutely. So, what do you think, Jules? Are you prepared for an exit strategy if it came to that? No, you're a Floridian.
Well, I'm a Jersey girl. I just live in Florida.
Can't take the jersey out of Jules.
Hold that thought. Someone's at my door.
All right, well, we just been put on hold by Jules.
I had an eventful morning.
we
I
need-
talked to her earlier, and she said she had to go. She wanted to go get water, but they ran out, so she got donuts instead.
Yeah. Get some
Important,
champagne and orange juice and make yourself some mimosas or something. I don't know.
Yeah, so I said have a hurricane party. That's what those are when people are stuck in the house and they just cook with the neighbors and stuff like that and drink beer or whatever alcohol they have.
I remember there was one year.
Okay, I'm back.
One year we
Okay,
had
so-
a hurricane, and it was predicted to hit Tampa, and I don't think you and I were even dating at that point. Yeah, this was years back. And it rerouted. No, everybody went to go to like Orlando, a little deeper in Florida, and to get away from Tampa and the Bay Area. And it ended up hitting Orlando, and all the hotels and everything lost all their power. And I remember we stayed here. I was glad because I had a lot of friends that were in Orlando, and it was hard to even get back because some of the roads were blocked with trees and branches and stuff, and they were just stuck there without electricity where they went to evacuate. So you never know. It's so hard to predict and where to go, what to do when these storms come
I
about.
saw a tip a couple days ago was saying, make sure you get a generator to somebody.
Yeah, we
in
do
a
have.
town. Yeah.
We got to make sure that still works too. It's an old one, little backup.
I have a generator, but guess what? I don't know how to use it, so it's sitting out. It was one of my spiteful moves, I admit. Because I knew he wanted it, and I took it. Anyway.
Don't you have certain friends in certain places that could help you with that? I'm just saying.
Well, my certain friend is actually like Idaho right now, driving across country. So no.
Oh, okay.
Google it.
Do some YouTube University.
I went across this morning to buy water, and no one has water. So, SOL. But Zaiden, Gina, tell me this. Why is Michael insisting I must go to Tampa? Why can't I just stay here where I am?
Well, because we're more fun.
Want to be together? Yeah.
Lots
That's
of
what
togetherness.
He said. He thinks that we all should be together during this, especially since he's considered a first responder. So he's going to be working through the entire.
Aw, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
That's a caring family for you.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess. But I really don't want to go. But if I go, I'm not going to leave until Tuesday.
Just make sure you have enough time to get there. No, she gassed up, but make sure you have enough time to get there.
I filled the tank. I filled the tank yesterday afternoon. Even though I didn't want to, I went and did it. And really, that's other than that, there's and I didn't pack my bag yet, but I did get all my important papers are all over there in the corner by the door, so I won't forget those. So I'm just like gonna wait till the last minute.
You know,
Just make sure you
the
got
one
enough
year,
time to
we
travel.
also-
right? Because let me tell you, last time we did that with Hurricane Irma, and we just
Yeah.
said, okay, it became a level 3 hurricane by the time it was
Yeah.
hitting landfall, and we're like, well, okay, we'll go ahead and leave. And then, of course, the traffic was literally backed up all the way up to the Georgia line.
That's my point.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave. I didn't
Yeah,
leave in
traffic.
Irma. I stayed in Irma, and I was fine.
But it was
Same
fun
thing happened
driving
to
in the
us.
emergency lane, like
Okay.
the whole way
That
up
was
Florida.
craziness. Oh my God.
It was crazy.
Gina enjoyed it.
We were
I was
on
the one
I-10.
driving.
We were on I-10. It was right after Katrina, and so there was a hurricane heading towards our area, and so all of Houston was trying to get out, and it's like the 4th biggest city here in America.
Yeah.
So they were all trying
Yeah.
to get out. There were so many cars stranded on I-10, and in the middle of the road, you're driving. It's just like you just see all the people just walking on the freeway and standing on the side. And then the police opened the flow of traffic on the other side to go. That's all going one direction. So both sides of the I-10 were going one direction,
Yeah.
and it was just kind of surreal to see like just people in the middle of the highway just standing there and an interstate. You know, it's like it looked like a post-apocalyptic type of thing. And yeah, it was. I mean, you ran out of gas. Everybody you get stranded. It's not. Sometimes it's better to hunker down, but
Yeah, no, that's what we did
That's right,
too.
Brandon.
We had a couple, containers filled up with gas, and how do you attach them on your roof or on the back, or where do you put them so that you're not poisoning, intoxicating yourself while you're driving, but you want to make sure you're prepared, that you have enough gas, because once you're on the road, you don't know what gas station's going to be out or what. So yeah, we had done all that.
Yeah.
And then boarding up the house and like putting electronics in higher places in the house. Like we were
In case of flooding.
putting,
right?
yeah, if there was flooding, we had put stuff on beds and on top of tables and stuff. And it was a lot of work and rush to get out of here. But thank God we didn't get hit. But the irony there was, it was another storm that it was like 2 weeks after, or like, was it the week
it was
before or
a
2
simple
weeks
lightning
after?
storm.
That
Yeah, it was.
had a
It
lightning
was.
storm, and
Yes.
it affected the whole house, so I had to file a claim.
Yeah, we got struck by lightning that day. I remember.
And
Wow.
then I
I
had
mean,
to
we
prove
were not at the
that
house.
it
We were
wasn't
actually
due
on
to
our
the
way back, I
hurricane.
think. Sorry, go ahead, Gina.
Yeah, that it wasn't due to the hurricane, that it was a storm like a couple weeks later. Because one, the deductible was more for a hurricane. And as far as getting stuff repaired, of course, the waiting list for everybody that got damaged from a hurricane somehow gets put into a whole nother bracket for how quick or how soon they would, replenish and help whatever I needed that was insured. But the timing of that was crazy. But anyways,
Yeah, a
that's...
lot of people got hit from that lightning storm in 2017. Fortunately, we were not one of them that happened to. But yeah, and it really does stink, because if you do have a claim regarding a hurricane,
20%.
I have to work in round numbers, So so if your contents is covered for, say, $50,000. Your normal deductible does not apply. It's 2% of that $50,000. That's your deductible. So they take a big chunk out when it comes to the insurance companies. And also that's another thing that people may not realize in Florida. I was in the insurance business for over 20 years, and that's the only reason why I know this.
Oh, wow.
When Hurricane Andrew hit in 92, all the major insurance companies in Florida pulled out of Florida. State Farm, Allstate, you name it. The A companies pulled out, because Andrew really did a number, on their bottom line. They didn't really care about the devastation that was caused. I'm going to say it because it's the truth. They didn't care. They only cared about how much money they lost, and they were not coming back in when it came to homeowner policies, landlord policies, anything that was structure related. So now
Yeah.
we have all of these sub insurance companies that underwrite the policies, and we pay more in insurance now for property coverage here in Florida because the main insurance companies, even still, we have not had devastation in this state like we saw in 92, and they still will not come back
Yeah.
and insure us. And there's something so wrong about that.
That's
Yeah,
so true. Go ahead.
With the insurance, yeah, it's messed up when, okay, we made our money, now we can pull out of that state. Now we don't really have to cover what we said we promised we were going to cover. We made enough. We'll move on. Because there's
FEMA
not
takes
enough
forever.
laws for that.
FEMA. Don't get me started on FEMA.
FEMA is a joke, okay?
Yeah.
If anybody hasn't dealt
Oh
with
my
FEMA,
God.
I have, and it is a joke. Just hope and pray that you never have to go through FEMA, because it's worse than going through the insurance company. Honestly, it is.
Can you explain it to PC Tech Radio? Because I don't know if they have that in the UK.
I know all about FEMA. I watched a documentary on YouTube about them, and apparently they're despicable.
They are despicable.
After Katrina, the people that
Politics and money.
the people
That's all
that
it
lost their houses were put in inadequate trailers with asbestos, and FEMA basically turned around and said, well, that's all we can provide, and literally they were making people sick because of these trailers.
I have a friend that lived in Waveland, Mississippi, and if anyone is up on the Katrina news, they know that Waveland was wiped off the map. And they came, and I was living in Atlanta at the time. So Sandy and her husband Art and her sister and her husband, I had 13 people staying with me for 3 months. And it took them that long to get the FEMA trailer. When they went down to go get the FEMA trailer, I took the ride down with them. Well, when it rained inside the trailer. I mean, it was just, and when you walked in, that smell of formaldehyde, it was horrific.
Yeah.
So their son ended up buying a motorhome, a used motorhome for them, and parked it on their property, and they used the FEMA trailer for storage as they started to accumulate things that they were going to need after they had their home rebuilt, which they had to live in an RV for 2 years.
Yeah.
That's how long it took them to get their house built.
Yeah, I mean, I only knew about the devastation of Katrina because I used to watch, we used to get here on Sky TV, Extreme Makeover Home Edition. And they went into Mississippi and helped people rebuild businesses that were needed and stuff like that. They did like a 2-week project on it, and just to see the devastation of what had happened, it looked
like a war zone. It looked like a war zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the people that actually built my friend's house in Waveland, they were actually Amish people from Pennsylvania that drove down. They weren't there on a that's another reason why it took so well. One reason is first FEMA and the Corps of Engineers said, okay, your house, when you rebuild the house, it's got to be put up on stilts and it's got to be X amount of feet. And so they did that, and they come for inspection. And by the time that part was done, they changed the code and made the stilt higher. They did that 4 times. So, it's ridiculous. But yeah, the Amish came down from, Pennsylvania and Ohio, that area there, and rebuilt a lot of homes in Waveland, Mississippi. They sure did.
And that's something you got to respect about Amish, because they really care about their neighborhoods, their neighbors. And when I say that, they care about people. They care about reaching out to helping, and they're great carpenters, man.
I was
These
going to say,
guys are so
Amish build
skilled.
is probably the best build you can get right there.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
solid.
it's so solid.
Solid as oak.
They'll bring it, man. They will bring it. But yeah, kudos to Amish, man. I heard about
Next
that
to
in
Jesus being a
Mississippi. I'm like,
carpenter.
man, how
Right.
awesome is that?
Yeah.
I mean, have they given this one a category yet, Zaiden, or have...
They're predicting category right before it hits Cuba, or according to what they're saying, the west part of Cuba anyway. But
Chris and Michael are saying by the time it hits us, it's going to be a 3. I'm not going to believe it until I actually see it.
so I'm kind of in the same boat, right? So it's kind of hard to really say this is actually going to be a major hurricane by the time it hits. I mean, if you think about it, some tropical depressions develop in the Gulf and just instantly become what happened to Houston, a Category 4 hurricane. And sometimes you don't realize, like it could actually get worse, or it could just go away. I mean, that's how these things happen. I honestly think these are the most unpredictable forecasting is when it comes to hurricanes, especially when it comes to the Caribbean and the Gulf, because there's so many differentiating currents. You got your current in the water, you got your fronts coming through, and they're saying this high dome of high pressure is supposed to kick it this way, but yet somehow it builds strength or whatever it does and does something completely unexpected.
Sometimes it goes in another direction with all that current
Right.
and the pressure.
Right.
And also the temperature matters too. So it's going to follow the warmer temperature. So hopefully you guys cool off a little bit. That would be nice.
No,
'Cause then
no,
maybe it'll push out a little
97.
bit.
I mean,
97 again today.
We had one nice day, the first day of fall.
go on, Gina.
First day of fall. Go, Gina.
It actually felt like autumn. I was like, wow, this is nice. And then I
Yeah,
looked,
yeah.
I was like, oh, it did start today.
We had the only hurricane we had recently was in the early 2000s, and I feel so sorry for a guy. He had a really nice sports car, and of course, on our houses here we have chimneys.
Yeah.
And it took his chimney off his house, and it went straight through the middle of his sports car.
Oh boy.
And his insurance company turned around and said, "Sorry, we don't cover acts of God."
Oh no.
So here in the UK, they use the act of God clause in the contract if anything like that happens. The only one before that was one before I was born. All of our weather people here were saying, no, it's not going to hit. It completely devastated the south end of England, and they had to come on TV and apologise to the people.
That is
So-
insane.
Yeah, that's what they pretty much had to do during Katrina.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean-
everybody under Katrina got. I mean, that was a huge hit. I mean, her
Katrina-
insurance company screwed everybody.
Katrina was the worst one that
In recent history, I
in
think it is.
recent
Yeah.
history
Yeah.
that you guys had, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
hands down.
And that had
I
a
went
lot to
to,
do
like-
with the structures that weren't
Yeah, the
being
levees
updated.
broke.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
levees broke in New Orleans, and it flooded the whole area, and it stayed over New Orleans as well, or Louisiana.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Superdome,
High
I think they
school.
call it, was
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
filled with people that had nowhere else to go, and the Superdome
Yeah,
was
and
literally
Attacked.
what's that, Gina?
Yeah, it was attacked. Its roof was peeled
Yeah,
off.
the roof blew off. Yeah.
Yeah.
a lot of them were staying at the Astrodome over here, and they were just put in the Astrodome because it's like an abandoned, sports arena,
Yeah.
and
Right.
they were just stuck there, and it was leaking there a little bit. I went to high school with a bunch of kids, and they called themselves Katrina kids, and because they
Oh,
came
wow.
over from, because of Katrina, and
Yeah.
we were taught,
Wow.
like be nice to them because they got just, replaced, or dishomed and stuff like that. And it sucked though, because I felt bad for them because I was like, damn, you lost your house and you got to live here now.
Yeah, it was pretty bad, man. And they were so scattered. People were so scattered. Like, I mean, there are a few of them that exited the city and got out, but then there's a whole lot that stayed because it has a lot of old culture that a lot of people just, it's their
And
homes. They don't
Zaiden-
want to leave their homes.
No,
And,
they didn't.
but-
What about the nursing home scandals during Katrina?
Oh man, I heard about that too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
That
still a lot of
nursing
people
homes.
there's still a
The
lot of people
nursing
that
homes, they left those elderly people. Don't even get me
Yeah.
started on Tina.
I know that will take us a whole another hour. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
when you treat
There's
your
still-
elderly like that, oh man, that's just terrible.
yeah.
Go ahead, sorry, Brandon or PC Tech.
Yeah, there's still a lot of people after Katrina that haven't even gone back, aren't there? There's still people that live out of state from where
Yeah.
they used to.
Like
Yeah.
that girl Lizzo, she came to Houston because of Katrina, and she grew up here and went to high school out here. And
Oh wow.
that's
Wow.
her connection to Houston or whatever. But yeah, Katrina affected a lot of people, and I mean more than others know in certain regions, because the neighboring states had to deal, not deal with it, but support them.
But I remember watching the Senate hearings because there was a lot of scandal around FEMA because of Katrina as well.
Yeah.
And they were
Absolutely.
called before Congress, and I just sat there in disgust because they were making excuse after excuse. And I thought, how can an organization like this that's meant to be first responders just make excuses?
And that's the thing that really disappointed me, because when FEMA finally kicked into gear to help out with Katrina, and then to find out they came down and a lot of the things that should have happened didn't happen, to help out victims, to help out communities, and it felt like a pick and choose situation for them. I that's how I feel about it. And again, I fall right back to politics and money. Like, where are they going to lose out the most? Where are they going to retain the most? And I think that's more of a selfish way of looking at things, in my opinion. So honestly, if you're going to help people, look at the Amish, man. Look at them come down and help our neighbors, man. They're fantastic. You get people like that helping. That's what FEMA should look like, in my opinion.
But it shouldn't come down to politics and money.
I agree with you. Yeah,
in my opinion, it's human lives, and even if FEMA do, I mean, I doubt they will. You guys would probably know better than I do, but even if FEMA did get their act together and kick it into high gear straight away when things like this happen, just to give somebody a little bit of dignity back, means a lot.
FEMA. They don't care about dignity, I'm sorry to say.
Now, you could probably do like a non-profit kind of organization and get some people together and make something happen. Now, there were a few of those that kind of came into play. And nobody really talks about that. But that's where really the backbone comes in. Kind of, like I said, I go back to the Amish, but you create these groups that are similar minded in that aspect, you're going to have yourself a much better outcome. Because you're focused on helping people rather than helping yourself. Just saying.
Yeah.
So real quick, I just want a quick shout out, guys. Yeah, this week's going to be a real busy, crazy week. We just had to deal with a lot of cost issues. So trying to stay maintained in here. I am going to plug, obviously hit that like, subscribe, and share to get us, this community growing still. Obviously, if you wish to donate, the links are in the link tree. We primarily go through Cash App as well as PayPal. Any help obviously would be fantastic. But a lot of communities are going to need a lot of help out there too, so make sure you reach out and support them too. With that said, today is going to be kind of a short stream, so we've got about maybe 5 minutes to go, so I'm going to go ahead and close up shop. But tonight, stay tuned, we should have a madness show tonight for you guys. But with that said, let me go ahead and
Prayers for Temp that he feels better.
Yeah, Temp, I saw you out there, buddy. I hope you feel better. If you do your stream, of course, we'll be coming on a little later on. Hopefully, I'm not sure exactly what time we'll get back, so nonetheless, we'll be watching in. I'll go ahead and get to the round table. We'll just call it the round table for the closing. We'll start with Brandon. You got any last words for us?
Happy birthday again to Lisa, and good to see PC Tech Radio. Yes, happy birthday
to you.
And y'all stay safe out there in Florida. Julie, Zaiden, and Gina, and everybody in the chat.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, buddy.
Alrighty.
Appreciate you. Yeah.
No problem.
God bless, bud.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brandon.
All right, PC Tech, you are up to bat.
Yeah, everybody in Florida, Paige, Julie, Zaiden, Gina, stay safe, please. Everybody else that's in Florida, please stay safe. And just make sure that you have an escape plan if it's needed. You know, because we're all sending our thoughts and prayers to you to make, you know, hopefully it's not as bad as it looks, but you never know with these things. But yeah, help support the channel, help it grow, and I will probably be on later when Temp does his stream, if he does it today. And Temp, get rest and make sure you drink plenty of fluids and eat quite a bit.
Yes, agreed, Temp. Get some rest, brother.
Yes.
Get some rest, brother. Do it.
Yeah, definitely.
That's my wrestling voice. All right, so thank you so much, PC Tech. Hope you have a good one. We'll see you a little later on, buddy.
No worries. Thanks, Zaiden.
Anytime. And Jules, she's the jewel of the jewels.
First and foremost, thank you, Zaiden. Yeah, okay. Zaiden and Gina for having me on. I know. Well, that's a cool name for the both of you, Jadens. Whatever. Anyway, happy birthday once again to my sweet cousin, Lisa. I hope you enjoy the rest of your birthday weekend. Temp, take those vitamins, drink plenty of liquids, get some rest, and get better soon. And everybody else, thank you for the well wishes. I'm sure, you know, hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be okay here in Florida. And be kind to one another. Thank you.
Wisdom of the day. Thank you, Jules. Let's go right over to our most hopping happy birthday bunny, Lisa.
Well, I really honestly hope that you and Gina and Julie and Paige and Andy and everybody in the community that lives in Florida stays safe over the next week. I really hope that the storm downgrades, I mean, living in a place where you see them, it can happen. So my thoughts and prayers are with all of you to be safe, and hopefully this just stays at a tropical storm for you. Thank you, everybody, again for all the birthday love, all the birthday wishes. It really touched my heart. To my dear brother, Temp, hope you feel better soon. Yeah, I know what you're going through right now, and just take care of yourself and do what you need to do to feel better. And, you know, again, yeah, thank you. And everybody have a great weekend. And I really love the ears, Gina. They're so cute.
Pull them out. That's cute.
That was cool. Thank you,
I
Lisa.
really love the ears.
Awesome. All right, Lisa, thank you so much. Happy birthday, girl. Appreciate you.
Hey, the happy birthday song, that's not patented, right? That's no copyrights or whatever on that.
Copyrights?
Hey,
My rear end.
I think it does, but I think we could come up with a version that doesn't.
Yeah, there's always a controversy on that. They said that I think it even went to court where the people, like restaurants and places like here, can sing happy birthday without getting fined.
Let's see, what's a synonym to happy? Let's say joyful.
I sent her the Happy Birthday Lisa song from The Simpsons last night. Michael Jackson.
Anybody got a saxophone? Awesome. Well, happy birthday, Lisa. Happy birthday. Hope it's a fantastic rest of your day.
Happy birthday.
Gina, wonderfulest Wonder Woman of them all. My Wonder Wife, that is Gina. What you got for us? Any wise words of wisdom or anything you would like to say?
just thank you guys for hanging in there with us when we had all that emergency stuff happen yesterday and we couldn't come on. We appreciate you guys and the loyal community. I think it's awesome. Thank you for your prayers. We're coming in agreement that everything will stay safe and the storm will get redirected so it doesn't hurt anybody.
Yes, ma'am.
So
amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Amen to that.
Yep.
Thank you.
We'll hope to see you guys again soon, possibly later. Temp prayers. No temperature, no high temps for temp. Lord heal him and may him
Check your temp.
be healthy.
Cricket moment. I love it.
We needed some Zaiden zingers before we go.
I do have one.
Yeah, you gotta
One. But
spit one out before we depart.
all right, since we're going to transition into that, why not? Thank you, my wonderful wife, Gina. So I always get a little sad during hurricane season in Florida. You could say I have a tropical depression.
Oh, crickets.
And that is your zinger for the day. With that said, I'm going to close up shop, y'all. Thank you for coming along, singing a song, ping-ponging, happening, hopping, all that good stuff. But thank you, guys. Thank you.
I'm really craving carrot cake right now.
Carrot cake. It's been a crazy hour, y'all. It's been a crazy hour. Thank you so much for... Can't get enough of this. This is amazing. I love carrot cake, by the way. So, all right. Thanks, guys, for tuning in today. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. The excellent time we had together. Really appreciate everything you guys do for this community. And don't forget that like and subscribe button and notification bell so you get the latest and greatest from our channel. We also have the link tree available for any donations or any other community involvement like Telegram. We have the links there as well. Anything you give, obviously, it definitely helps out the community, the equipment, and keeping things up to par to give you the best quality that we can give you. So we appreciate you. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in today on the Gauche. We'll be back at you later on with Midnight Madness tonight. And, of course, stay tuned for Temp's stream, which should be happening sometime in a little while this afternoon, Eastern time for us. But once again, thank you for coming along to the Gauche. This is it. Zaiden reporting out. Peace.